Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching All Soaps All Day. This is the General Hospital edition. Oops, I'm sorry, not All Soaps All Day. What happened on the soaps at General Hospital? Today is Thursday, June the 9th, 2022. All right, let's get into it. Y'all, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this an 8, maybe an 8.5 because it was good to me. I told y'all, I feel like the teens have the best storyline. Like they are really, well, I call them the teens, but I mean, I guess, they're 19, 20. They're teens. They're 18, 19, somewhere up in there. But anyways, they have the best storyline, and so I'm always intrigued. Let me get these people out of the way right here. I know y'all like because I see the comments. Because I look at the Instagram and everything, and I know y'all like Britt and Cody, but they're not my favorite. I'm not gonna. I'm like I don't see the chemistry between the two of them. He Oh, how can I put this? Like I told you yesterday, he's a bum. He's a freeloader, and he proved the point today trying to talk Brit into suing society setups and using him as a witness so that he can get some of the money that she would get if she won the case and everything. So he wants her to sue because he said it's such an embarrassment. Take your power back and everything. Anyway, Zelda, who is the face of society setups, she comes and she speaks. I'm not gonna hold you long on this because it was not much. She comes and she speaks to Britt and she lets Britt know, I'm terribly sorry about what happened and everything. And what I'm gonna do is make you top priority because I know you're tired of being alone and you're lonely and you don't want to be alone anymore. So I'll make you top priority. Now, Britt didn't say anything while she was doing this because Cody came up, but Britt is tired of being alone, and I think she might have actually went for this. She probably would have went for this. And so then Cody comes back up because Zelda told him your stunt went awry or whatever. And so she was like, "Where's my check?" So she hands him his check and tells Britt, hit me up whenever you're ready to do this. Baby, Cardi looked at that check and he said, "Oh my gosh." And Britt was like, "What?" He said they were supposed to pay my hotel and my amenities and all that. And he said they didn't pay the $500 in his amenities. I guess they took it out of his check or whatever. And Britt said, "You spent 500 in amenities?" He said, "Well, because he's probably supposed to have a bad back." He said he had to get a massage, and who doesn't want to get a massage with a glass of wine? And Britt said, first of all, you should drink water because a massage dehydrates you, so you needed water. And she said, and why would you spend that much on amenities? And he said, "You're loving this, aren't you?" And she was like, "Mm-hmm. Pretty much, and that was it with y'all. If there was more to it, I don't remember. This was like I'm not. Listen, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for this couple at all. So speaking of society setups, we see that okay. Spinelli is at Metro Court. Now, Sam and Carly are there and they're talking about what's going on with the case as far as Esme. So Sam tells Carly she has a source and she has a lead, and the lead is Maggie Fitzgerald. And Maggie Fitzgerald is someone that Esme used to talk to back in the day. That was Esme's nanny, and so she's kind of kept in touch with her. And the source says, but there's got to be more to this story than that. So Carly is like, "Sam, who's your source?" And Sam says, "I can't tell you who my source. Please don't tell Carly because Carly can't hold ice water. That's why Cam can't tell Josh either because she can't either." So she says, "I can't tell you my source or whatever, but just know that I'm on it and we're looking into it." And they're like, Carly was like, because Esme needs to pay for what she has done. Now, while they're talking, or before they, when they were getting into this, they see Spinelli, and he comes up to them. I personally like the new look of Spinelli. I don't understand why people are making this a big deal. He looks nice. If this was on anybody else, there would be no questions. So he has his new look and everything, and he asked Carly, "What do you think?" And she said, "It's nice." And he said, "Nice? That's like the least amount of compliment you can give someone." She said, "I just got used to you and your old look." Or whatever. I don't know. I like Spinelli, so I wish they would do his character better. But anyway, so he over there or whatever, and he has a meeting. Okay, so they tell Spinelli, "What's been going on with you?" And he says, "Oh, you know what? I got a meeting or whatever. I got to go." So he go over there with his meeting, and so him and this man start getting into it, and you could tell Spinelli was getting on this man about pricing or something. So they was getting into it or whatever, and so they go over. When the man leaves, Carly and Sam go over and say, Spinelli, what is going on? Because Carly can tell that Sam is really worried about Spinelli, but she said he was not talking to me. And so they say, Spinelli, what's going on? Because Carly said that I was about to call security and have that man escorted out or something or whatever. Because it was y'all, what's going on? And he says, it's nothing. I have a therapy. I've been going to therapy. He said, I've been lonely and all that, so I've been going to therapy. And he, I didn't pay my bills, so my therapist came after me or whatever, and they said, Spinelli, because they looking at how he's dressed, and they said that's money. What you wearing and stuff is costing money, and I just don't think Spinelli is a splurger like that, unless he has it. So Spinelli don't own no bill, and they already don't believe this. So Spinelli gets up and leaves, and they don't even believe this story. And they said, okay, so now we really got to find out what's going on with Spinelli. I said, yes, I guess this will be y'all's storyline because what else? So then we see that Spinelli goes outside and Zelda is there, and she says, "Don't worry about it. Britt is taken care of." And he hands her this huge large wad of cash. And I said, Spinelli is behind society setup. That's who's the creator of it. That's who's the inventor of it, and that is who is doing it. This is his new business or whatever. But he done told Sam and Carter to leave him alone. He got this. Now, what y'all should be doing, because Sam said she can't find any information on Maggie, give it to Spinelli. That's who can find you some information. Y'all be killing me. Y'all don't be using this man in the right way you should use him. Let's move on because that's all we have to do with that. Now, speaking of, hold on, let me think. Anybody else on here before I get to my favorite people on this soap today? Okay, let's go with Sasha and Brando. Now I do like them. So Sasha and Brando. Okay, so we already know Gladys knocked the pills out of Sasha's hand, and Brando comes into the room. So Brando's like, "Why are you knocking the pills out of Sasha's hand? What's going on?" And Sasha says they're just aspirin, and they were just aspirin. Gladys. And they were just aspirin. But Brando is on alert because he like, why you knocking the pills out of her hand, mama? What's going on? And so she said, oh, I thought they were, something else. And that's just my fault. And Sasha's like, she just overreacted. And Brando said, why you got a reason to overreact, mama? And she said, it's nothing. You know how I'm always, every time I saw the pills and it just triggered my memories of being back with you when you had a drug addiction and all that. And Sasha said, we talked about this before, and I told Gladys it's nothing. And he said, so you talked about this before. Okay. So Sasha, we're gonna get you into a rehab and everything. And he said, Sasha was like, what? Wait. And he said, because I know my mama. She wouldn't overreact like this unless something was going on. And if you talked about this before and then she comes and move in with us, it's something. Now y'all know I'm paraphrasing all this stuff because you know how we do, and I'm moving this along, even though I do like this couple. I the new Brando is doing a great job, isn't he? To me, he is. But I do like this couple, but I hate the way they're doing Sasha. And I was like, yes, get her help. But Sasha, just get the help. Like, I don't understand this. You were scared for Brando to find out. He finds out, and all he wants to do is help you, and you don't even want to help him. But Brando knows Gladys would not be acting like this unless it was something. But Gladys gets Brendo off Sasha's back by saying, let me get this. I got this. You owe me this for all the lies you told to me. And he said, what lies have I told to you? She said, remember when you came back from the service and you lied to me in my face and said nothing was wrong and you wasn't on drugs and all that, and you really were on drugs, and you made me feel guilty because I was questioning you. She said, well, that's the same fear I had right here with Sasha, but everything is going good with Sasha or whatever. And so when Gladys leaves, because, he tells Sasha, let me help you if I can help you. Like, if you're having problems, if you're overwhelmed, let me help you. She said, no, Gladys is taking care of me. She just knew I was overwhelmed and she thought it was a problem, but it's not a problem. She was just overreacting and all that. Brandon tried to tell her, if there is something, let me help you. Sasha don't want the help. So she gets Brando to leave it alone, and she hugs him and tells him, if I need anything, I will come to you. Thank you. And when she hugging him, Sasha in the back of the room, and she whispers thank you to Sasha for not telling Brando that she is on the way. Like, Sasha is having withdrawals. She really does need rehab. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me what you think about this storyline. It's getting on my nerves only because I want so much more for Sasha and Brando than this. That's it. That's all. All right, let's move on to the my favorite storylines of the day. This is why it's got an 8.5. And that is okay, we're gonna talk about Josh and Trina. So Josh and Trina are talking or whatever, and Josh is making all these plans for next summer. She was like, "We can go abroad. We can go on all these different trips, and we can study these different places." And she's just making all these plans, and Trina's like, "Girl, I cannot make these plans." And Josh was like, "What you talking about?" She said, "I could probably be expelled, or I could be in prison. So all these plans that you're getting to make, I don't get to make them." And Josh said, "I 100% don't think you're going to prison." She says, "Cam and I are backing you. We will testify for you. There's no way they could send you to prison or kick you out of school when we're standing up for you." And Trina is just like, "I know that, but I still have to worry." She said, "Rory said the same thing, that he'll support me." And Josh said, "Rory?" And she said, "And don't start. It's nothing." And Josh said, "Well, you called him Rory." She said, "Well, he took me home." She said, "Took you home?" I said, "I thought you had told Josh this. I thought that's what you was texting that night." But anyways, she said, "Girl, yes, he took me home, and my daddy humiliated me because he asking Rory all these questions about, it's an unwritten code that you can't hang with somebody when they get under investigation and all that." And Josh said, "Well, what did Rory say?" And she said, "He was like, he handled he held his own with my daddy or whatever." She said, "But still, no amount of distracting," because she was talking about she spent the whole day with him, and she was like, "Spent the whole day with him." I said, "Josh is mean. Josh is mean. Like, I want to know all everything that's going on." So, anyways, she says Trina tells her no amount of distraction, no amount of planning and all, it don't, like, she got serious problems on her. She's young and she got all these serious problems. Wrap this storyline up real quick, please, for me, because I do like Trina, and I don't like that Esme is getting away with this. Neither does Josh. So Josh says, you and I are going to come up with a plan to take Esme down." She said, "I noticed you didn't say Cam. What's up?" And she said, "Girl, I don't know what's going on with Cam. He's hiding something from me. He won't tell me what it is, but I know he's hiding something from me, and it has to do with Esme and Spencer." She said, "Because my plan was to break up Esme and Spencer, and then break up Esme and Spencer and all that." And Trina was like, "Nah, we can't break up Esme and Spencer." But she was telling them how weird Cam was acting every time she says that, to break them up. Can you get her some water, please? To break I usually have a bottle over here, I'm sorry. To break them up and everything. And she said, You can't break them up. She said, because Esme would still skip town, and with them together, she has the Cassidy, so she would have to stay. Because I want her to answer for stuff she's done. And she said, "Josh, I know you want to do this quick." She said, "But this is a long we playing the long game with Esme, and we just gonna have to sit back and wait and whatever. But it means a lot to have your support." And that was it with them. We'll see more of them tomorrow. So then we go over here to Cassidy, Windermere, and I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." So we see Nicholas is. Why are you still thinking about Esme? And this better not be thinking about Esme. I want to do it again. This better be. I regret doing this, but it looks like I want to do it again. I said, "Nicholas, if you don't stop." But anyway, so he thinking about Esme, and Ava comes in and she was like, "What's up? What were your thoughts? Where are your thoughts?" And he was like, "Oh, it's nothing, or whatever." And she said, it looks like it was something. And he was like, no, it's just mama. It's just I was just in deep thoughts. And then he plays it off or whatever by, just talking to her about it was nice being in bed. Even though they're taking it slow, it was nice sharing the same bed again and all that. And Ava looks so pretty. I loved her in that what is it? Burgundy red shirt. She looks really pretty. Anyways, So they're just happy that they're getting along and everything now, and that they didn't do anything crazy that would end their marriage. So on the outside, Spencer said, "You disappeared from me again." So him and Esme are in a good place as well, so they think. And so they kissing and on whatever, and he says, "All right, let's go in here." And we need to go shopping and all this kind of stuff, but I need to go get my money. So they go all inside the living area, and it's Nicholas, Esme, Ava, and Spencer. Okay, so Esme said, they're all talking, and Ava says, "I'm so glad you guys are here," because Spencer was like, "Well, I'm about to take this little money, and I'm about to go get me a car, me and my girl a car." I said, "Well, y'all finna ride for it." Probably. And so then Ava said, "Well, I have something to tell you." She says, Nicholas was like, "I'm glad y'all here, even if my son was like kind of bribed to be here." And she was like, "It doesn't matter, he's here." And she says, "And I have something to tell you, Nicholas. I mean, Spencer. There's a new negotiation to the deal." And he said, we already settled on this deal." And she said, "Listen, if you want to stay here, you and Esme have to behave." And Esme said, "Excuse me, Ava, I am not your puppet." And she says, I'm not your puppet or whatever, and I don't have to behave. Or she brings up Trina, and Ava said, "You will not mention Trina in my presence." And that's when Esme was like, "I'm not your puppet, you can't control me." And Esme said, "Oh, I can't." Why, watch. No, Ava was like, "Oh, I can't watch me." And so she and Esme all up in each other's face again. And she says, "Tell me to go to hell, Esme, and your boyfriend's strings, the trust fund strings will be cut. Go ahead and act up if you want to." And Nicholas said, "I'm sure Esme didn't mean it like that." Now Nicholas standing over here, eyes down, looking awkward because he's feeling guilty because he know what he did to Ava, and he got her looking like a fool sitting up in here in front of Esme. And so then Spencer says, "Whatever, Ava, you want to change this deal at the 11th hour, it's fine. We can change this deal. As long as I get my money, I don't even care. We'll both behave or whatever." So then Esme was like, "Fine, because I love Spencer and I'm going to do what I have to do for Mr. Cassadine. I'm going to agree to it, okay?" And then she walked, act like she cried, and she go outside, right? And then Ava was like, "I need a martini. Make that a double." And Nicholas, "Let me go and get your ice." So then Esme outside, and it went nowhere. Esme hadn't went nowhere but to stand outside, and Nicholas come out, and she says, "I was hoping you would come after me." I said, "Nicholas, you tell her you ain't come but to do nothing but get ice." But anyways, so he talking to Esme, right? And she's like, "I was hoping you would come after me." And he telling her, "I'm sorry about Ava. It's just, we're all trying to get used to living together and all that stuff." She was like, "I understand. I just want to make sure that there's no problems between you and Ava, because of me." And he said, "No, we're working on our relationship. You and Spencer are working on your relationship. What happened between us was a mistake, and we can't let that happen again. And it's all good now." And Esme was like, "Oh, yeah, it's all good now. I told you, Spencer never has to know." She said, "But I can see how guilty you feel about this with Ava. So if you want to tell, if you ever decide to tell, I would have your back. I would support you in that or whatever." And Nick was like, "I ain't want to tell." And then he gonna tell Esme, "Come here, come here." He gonna tell Esme, do you need something from this pharmacy? I'm about to go out of town. Go in a town. You need something from the pharmacy." Niggas trying to get Esme that plan B. What make a stallion say, "I don't want to be stuck with you." He tried to get Esme that plan B. Esme said, "No, I got it. I got it taken care of. Everything's gonna work out how it should." I said, Nicholas, don't believe this. You got problems. So, anyways, on the inside is Ava and Spencer, and he tells her he want to stop doing his restitution. And she said, "Excuse me." He said, "Me and Esme agreed to your deal, even though you did it at the last minute. I felt like I paid you back." She said, "You will never. You just begun to pay me back for what you did, the terror you caused on me, or whatever." And she said, "Why you don't want to work at the gallery?" He said, "Because I don't want to, you're there, Trina's there. She already don't want to be with around me. Plus, she always with that guy." And I said, "What guy?" And he said, cop guy Cabrera or something. She said, Rory, and she said, yeah, he's supposed to be there just to protect Trina because of everything that's been going on. So he's there to protect Trina. She said, what that got to do with you? He said nothing, and she said, I see this. You don't. She said, you're forcing yourself to like Esme. The feeling that you used to feel for Esme, he was like, I love Esme. She said, maybe at one time you did, but you don't feel like that about her no more. But them feelings for Trina, they starting to grow. You're jealous. You're jealous. She didn't say all that, but I am. You're jealous. That's what's happening, and you don't want to see her with Rory. With Rory, that's what's going on. She's like, what are you planning? What are you scheming? And that was the General Hospital day, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Even if you don't subscribe, that's okay. I'll still be doing these videos for you, but hit that like button for me. And I will see you tomorrow for, is it Friday's episode, y'all? All right, bye.